Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, December 18th, and this is our welcome call for new team members. So my name is Michelle Zito. I've been with Park Lane for just about 5 years, and I have been in direct sales for almost 19 years, and my job is to we're conducting this call tonight based on who's on the call right now. I'm also your upline leader. If you're watching back this recording later, then I might be a sister leader to your recruiter or what have you. We're all part of the same team under Mary Grace Lewandowski. And we train you, we cheer you on so that you can have a super successful business here at Park Lane. So if you are part of my group and you want to friend me on Facebook, please do that through our team page. I am Michelle Walsh Zito, and our team page is Shine On. If you are not in my group, but part of another group within our organization, then I would imagine you've been added to that team page. So I'm so thrilled to welcome you to Park Lane. This call is generally done weekly. Now, next Tuesday, of course, is Christmas Day, so we will not be having it next week, but it'll resume the Tuesday after. But it's important to know that we do this call weekly because that means that people that you recruit will have the access to the same information that you do today. So you can be brand new and still be a recruiter, knowing that your new team members will be given the same exact information. So tonight's call is going to focus on your Rich Rewards program, and that's the program that allows you to add free and discounted jewelry to your kit, as well as how to introduce your new Park Lane business to your family and friends, including how to have a successful launch party. Hold on, somebody is asking how to get on this, so let me just quick see if I can help her. Okay, so I hope that you are ready to take some notes. And speaking of notes, I am going to share some words that work with you, some scripts and stuff. So at the end of the call, I'm going to show you where pretty much those scripts are so that like that you don't have to try to write down. Okay, oh, look at Tamika. She goes all off camera, puts her lipstick on, and then comes back. I see how it is. Okay, so Park Lane is super generous to us. They know that we want to add more jewelry to our kit all the time, but they don't want us having to continually buy the jewelry. So we all get to take part in the Rich Rewards program. And like I was saying earlier, that allows us to add free jewelry as well as discounted catalogs all into our kit. And of course, obviously that's in addition to your weekly paychecks. At no time is your pay jewelry, okay? I don't know that Visa is really down for sending jewelry to their for their payments. All right, so let's jot down some numbers. First, write down 12 to 15 average orders. 12 to 15 average orders. Okay. Then you're going to write down $1,000 in sales. $1,000 in sales. And then lastly, write down $300 in commission. So what do these numbers mean? When you collect 12 to 15 average orders for your launch show, and honestly, for any show, not just your launch show, if you have, moving forward, when you have a hostess with that number of guests even, and I know you all know 12 to 15 people with a neck, Okay, so that's not a lot of people. You can expect that you'll have at least $1,000 worth of customer orders, and that's being really super conservative. 12 to 15 orders in many cases would be like almost $2,000 in orders sometimes. And that in turn will give you $300 in commission or more. So does that sound good?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, again, Park Lane wants you putting money in your pocket, right? So that is why we have our Rich Rewards program. So I'm going to quickly do a screen share here so that you can see my screen, and I'm going to show you this. Oh, but I was signed in, sorry.
Yeah. Yahoo was spelled wrong.
What happened?
Yahoo was spelled wrong. There you go.
Oh. This is what happens when you type with two fingers and your head down. Okay, so in the Field interface, this is where you're going to get lots of important information. And what we're going to look at first is the Rich Rewards program, which is easiest to find in the downloads here under Business Builders. So see here, Rich Rewards Club brochure. When you open this up, I recommend keeping a copy of this handy so that you can always be referring back to it so that you know how close you are without having to sign into the computer. So here's the Rich Rewards program, okay? There are many different levels that you can earn. So level 1 is for $1,000 in sales that are processed in the first 2 weeks of a month. So what that means in Park Lane world is this. So if you have a calendar handy, take a look real quick because the Park Lane calendar operates Thursday to Wednesday. So the last Wednesday of the month is what ends the previous month. So for example, November 28th was the last day of November, which means that in Park Lane world, November 29th was the first day of December, that Thursday. So the first 2 weeks of December were the weeks that ended on December 5th and then December 12th. So each week, pay week, goes Thursday to Wednesday. So all of us that put in $1,000 in sales in the first 2 weeks of December, which means from November 29th to December 12th, you get to pick out $250 worth of jewelry of your choice. This is all tracked on the first screen you see when you sign into your website. And you just click a button and pick out what you want. So it's a super fun program and helps us to stay on track with doing business evenly throughout the month and not just waiting all month long to close your business. Now, that's the only part of the Rich Rewards that's on a time frame within the month. So the rest of these levels, you have the whole month to achieve. So level 2 is your buy one, get one free catalog. So with $1,500 in sales, now meaning just 500 more than you already did the first 2 weeks if you had sales in those weeks, you get to do your catalog order, buy one, get one free. So if you order 20 catalogs, you will actually receive 40. All right, now with sales of $2,500 or more, I'm just going down the left-hand side here, then you will receive in the mail completely free that month's ensemble of the month. That can be anything from a necklace and earring set to a pair of earrings to a bracelet and earrings. We've gotten lots of different ensembles in these last couple of months. Closest for me to grab are the earrings that we earned a couple of months back, which are the Tara earrings. These are genuine turquoise and hematite. As you can see, they're super sparkly and fabulous. These are $98 earrings, and one day they showed up at my house because I sold $2,500 that month, the previous month. And then that, they tell you how much it costs, and you can add it to your kit and show it at your parties. Okay, level 4 is when you sell $4,000 in a month. Any month that you sell $4,000 over the month, so in December, that will mean through December 26th, you get to pick out another $300 in jewelry. Now, look at how quickly that adds up. If you did business in the first 2 weeks and then continued adding on, that is, in what you're choosing, that's $550, plus the value of the ensemble of the month, which is usually about $100, if not more, and then the value of your catalog. So that's a lot. Now, they do also reward you for team building. In a month that 2 personal recruits join your team and qualify with their $1,000 in sales in their first 5 weeks, you get to pick out another $300 in jewelry. And when you have 4, you get to pick out another $300. So just as an example, last month, Tamika, who's on the call, so I'll use her as an example, earned every sales level there is. So she got to pick out 300 plus another 250. She's getting ensemble of the month. And next to her next catalog order, she's getting that as well. This month, she already did level 5. She had 2 team members join her team. They already sold 1,000 because she went and did a fantastic launch party with them. So she's getting to pick out $300 from that, plus what she accumulates here in her sales. So it's an amazing program that allows you to earn, if you were to maximize it consistently, you're getting, the most you can get is $1,100 or more, and then, or any combination thereof. Excuse me. So that's our Rich Rewards program. Great to keep this on display somewhere where you can see it so that you don't forget what you're entitled to. Okay? So having a successful launch party that your leader is probably doing for you, or your recruiter, depending on, time, geography, etc., is really important to getting your business started off strong and making sure that you have business that goes beyond your family and friends. So there are 3 steps that will make your launch party very successful. Number 1 is to have 2 launch parties, if possible. Over-invite and invite everybody. That's step 1. Have 2 launch parties, over-invite and invite everyone. Step 2, invite using multiple methods and know what to say when you're doing the inviting. And step 3 is to fill your calendar with parties in order to earn rich rewards. So let's go over each of these steps now. Step 1 is to have 2 launch parties, over-invite and invite everyone. Now, the benefit to having 2 launch parties, one with your leader and one without her, is that when you're doing the inviting, if someone says, oh, I can't come on a Friday because Mikey always has basketball, you can immediately say, oh, no problem, I'm also having a brunch on Sunday. Hope you can come to that. So you're really doing like a 1-2 all in one shot. Hey, Paula. Glad you got it all figured out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's where that second date is helpful. Usually the rule of thumb is that about 1/3 of who you invite will be able to come. So if you invite 30 people, you're probably going to have 7 to 10, which is good. But hey, when your leader is going to be standing in your living room working for you, then try to get as many there as you can, because the more people that are physically there, the more magic she can work for you. Higher sales, more bookings, all of that. So have your family and your friends help you to diversify your list, not prejudging the people that you're going to invite. Meaning if you're like, oh, I'm not going to invite Susan, she doesn't have any money and she's probably not going to buy. No one's pressuring them to buy. And maybe since they're not going to be able to afford everything they want, that they'll book a party with you so that they can get more jewelry. Maybe they're going to be interested in hearing about the business opportunity so that they can earn some money. So we're inviting Sue anyway. If you're like, oh, I'm not going to invite Fran, she's too busy. You're inviting Fran because busy people get the most things done. And Fran deserves a nice day of relaxation just like everybody else. If she's too busy, she will let you know. You don't have to decide that for her. And the final group, you don't want to prejudge, are your neighbors. Always invite the neighbors. Because have you ever looked out, you know, either your window or here out in the hallway where you're like, hey, such and such is having, you know, company, and clearly we were not invited. Then you're kind of like, oh, why didn't I get invited? I see she's invited. Oh, she invited Mary. How come she didn't invite me? Don't be that person. Besides, people are, your neighbors, especially if they've never been over your house, are dying to see the inside of your house. So let them come on in with their Visa card and be a part of your lunch. So you never can offend somebody in general. You can never offend somebody by inviting them, only by excluding them. I did a last minute for my launch party. I did a last minute invitation via text to one of my neighbors who I really just occasionally saw at the bus stop. It's not like we ever hung out. So she actually texted the day before that she could come. Then the day of, asked if it would be okay if she brought her aunt and her sister. Of course, I was like, yes, that would be fantastic. I was so excited. All three of them came. All three of them ordered. And her sister has been one of my number one clients for 5 running years. If I added up all of her purchases, it would have a comma in what she has spent with me. Certainly the commission that I've earned off of her has a comma as well. So she loves the personal service. She's a very shopperton. So when things break, she lets me know and I take care of it for her. And I know that's why she keeps coming back. So our level of service is better than what is out there. And that type, you'll find that those girls that love to shop will stick with you because of our quality and our level of service. So just invite everyone, let them decide if they want to come or not. And as far as your long distance friends and family, totally invite them because, yeah, they're not going to road trip from Florida to come, but you all have a website. And you all can have a link that's attached to either your launch party or your next show, and they can order on it, and you will make that money, and you will have more Park Lane jewelry on more of your friends and family, and therefore more customers to follow up with. So now, just as a quick aside, did any of you receive a 5% raise this month at your outside job?
Nope.
Was anyone privy to a 5% raise? This
No.
is the part where people usually, that's the reaction I typically get when you have there, like the laughing, like the, yeah, no. That's the laugh I typically get. But would you like one from Park Lane?
Of course.
Because Park Lane, when one person joins you in this business, and starting with a friend is actually the best and most common way to start building your team, just because it's fun to work with a friend or a family member, you will get a 5% raise. So here's how that works. When you do 1,000 in sales in any calendar month, which is one of many reasons why we like you to have $1,000 launch party. So Tamika, both of your recruits this month did 1,000. Paula, you already did 1,000. Kafiri, I know you did as well. Am I saying your name right, by the way?
You are.
Okay,
Yeah,
fabulous. You so proud of me? Okay, so.
One of them is on the call right now, Carla.
Oh, good. Carla had $1,000 launch as well. And we like that to be the case because if it is the first 2 weeks of the month, which it was for all of you, you get your $250 in rich rewards. Every one of you that's new on this call got your level 1 rich rewards and can redeem that when you're ready. And all of you on the call are ready to promote to branch leader, which is when one person joins your team, when she does her 1,000, if it's not the same month that you did your 1,000, then you just have to be active with a party in that month. And then you get a 5% raise on everything that you sell. And now you're ready to move to the next level, which is an even bigger raise. So just to give you an idea of what 35% is like compared to 30, when you do a $600 show, currently your paycheck would be $180. But with that one more person on your team, that paycheck would be $210. Now, think about doing that twice a week over the course of a month. You're talking about like $100 or more by the end of the month, depending on the size of your sales. So it really adds up quick. And once you have that first person on your team, then your next level of promotion, where you need 3 more people to join your team, one of them is going to be recruited by you, but the other 2 can be recruited by the first person and that other person. So now you have a few people on your team and you get 40% of your own sales and 10% of theirs. So that is a huge raise. That's the level that Tamika is at now. That's called area leader. And then, of course, there's levels beyond that, and we will work with you, you know, once you get to that. But I just like you to know that there are 2 leadership levels that really are extremely attainable right from the start, okay? So people are naturally going to ask you about the business side of Park Lane. I know that Paula already had this happen because here after her party, 2 of her friends booked, and then she's texting me. I think 2 people, actually she said 3. I think 3 people wanted to think about the business. 2 of them already had shows booked, but 1 didn't. And here she was interested. So I said, so after the party, they talked to you about it, Paula?
Yes.
Yeah, see? And obviously Paula knew barely anything. She had a party. That's all she knew. But guess what? Because she told me that, I reached out to both of those guests. I said, hey, since you're interested and you're thinking about using your party to join, would it be okay if I put you in a Facebook group where we have all the people that just want to gather information? And I think all of you are in it. It's that one called Check Out Park Lane. Check out Life as a Park Lane Stylist. So now they're checking it out. Paul is already in, and their shows are upcoming. So hopefully when we do their shows, they'll feel ready, and Paul is going to promote to branch. So that's why we have resources like that, because Paula had close to no information, right? She had whatever she remembered that I said at the party. And that's actually enough. Because what you can say, and what I'm guessing Paula probably did say, is a version of, you know what, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know that I had a lot of fun. I know I have jewelry coming to me. We can try it out together, right? And then just say, I'll have my friend, and then fill in the blank. So if you're Tamika's recruit, you're going to say, I'm going to have my friend Tamika give you a call. She answers all of my questions, and I know she'll answer yours too. So whoever your recruiter is, or that leader that you right above that person that maybe that you work with, that's who you're going to say. And you're going to use those words. Just say my friend, because if somebody's asking you about it, you don't want to start using words like, I'm going to have my upline leader call you. Like, that's like shop talk that nobody knows, and it certainly doesn't sound fun or friendly. Or I'm going to have my recruiter call you. Now they think they're joining the Army. Okay, so we don't have to do any of that. Just say your friend. Okay, so then just get the phone number. If it's not somebody we already know from your party, get a phone number, get a general time that works, and we make the call. I mean, that's the whole point of this business, is to help you build a team. Because what the goal is eventually is that one day she's going to be out doing a show, you're going to be home watching This Is Us, and that all shows up on your paycheck. There's going to be days, on a Friday night, you can only do one party, right, on any given night. But if you have a team of 5 people, of 10 people, of 100 people out doing parties on that same night, now your income becomes unlimited. That's the difference between creating a business and getting a job. A job, you trade time for money. However many hours you're there is however many hours you're paid on. Whereas with this, you can have unlimited coming in, because there's no limit to how many people you can have working with you, and there's no limit to how far down Park Lane will pay you. So if you have a team that goes 100 people down from you, Park Lane pays you on that person all the way up to this person. That is not true of a lot of direct sales businesses, which is why it's smart that you picked this one. Okay, so that was a little sidetrack there, but that was step 1, which was to do 2 launch parties, how to over-invite, how to invite everybody. I threw in about getting a raise. So let's go to step 2. Step 2 is to invite using multiple methods and to know what to say. So the most successful new team members invite using several methods to the party. They call their friends. They text their friends. They send little Facebook messages. Maybe they even do an email. They might do a Facebook event. They might mail the little postcards or hand them out at work or stick them in the coworkers' mailboxes. Several of those going on at the same time is the best way to do it. Because what does not work is sending a big mass email. Group texting is the fastest death of your party. Same thing with a group Facebook message. The reason for that is, number one, it doesn't feel special. And number two, here's the thing. When somebody texts into a group chat about an event, people know immediately if they can't go, and they're going to answer right away if that's the case. Oh, I'm sorry, we're away that weekend. Oh, I have a 40th birthday party. And then if 3 people right away come back no, the message sent to the rest of the group is, oh, no one's going to that. Meanwhile, there might have been 15 other people on there, 6, 7, or 8 of which could have come, 3 of which could have come. And we would have loved to meet those 3, 5, or 8 people. So it's got to be individual invitations. Okay, and also, you can never just do a Facebook event. Highly unreliable. People don't always see it. That's just an extra for people who do like to futz around on Facebook at work and do like to see the pictures of the jewelry and might want to click the link ahead of time. But it can't be the only thing, okay? So what do we say? You're going to say some version of, hi, Sue, it's Michelle. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I started my own business with Park Lane Jewelry. Have you ever heard of Park Lane? Give her a chance to answer. You'll respond with some version of, so she says yes or no, you're going to say some version of, oh, right, it's beautiful, it's versatile, we have all the different price ranges. I'm actually launching my business this Saturday night at 7. I would love for you to be here and give me your opinions on the jewelry. Are you free on Saturday night to join us? And just get her answer. Most people know what they're doing in the next week or two, which is why you want to book your shows, your stuff a little closer in. And if you're thinking, oh, you can book something that close in, if you were going to call a couple of friends to go to the movies on a Friday night or on a Sunday afternoon, would you call them up and be like, hey, Paula, do you want to go to the movies on February 11th? Like, what? Like, I don't know. Whereas, if they said, do you want to go to the movies next Saturday, you'd be able to answer. And it seems reasonable to make plans for next Saturday. So just get that RSVP right away. The closer in RSVPs are the most reliable. So if she says yes, then say, oh, great, thank you so much. I'm going to text you an official invite that you can text on to any friend of yours that loves jewelry and would like to come. I would love to have as many girls here as possible. Encouraging your friends to bring a friend will potentially double your guest list. And the people that they bring are the jewelry lovers. That's why Pam brought her sister Melissa, right? My neighbor, because she knew her sister's a shopaholic who loves jewelry. And, people who, the bring of friends are quality guests. That's somebody that was thought of because they like jewelry, they're fashionable, they're into fashion, maybe they used to sell jewelry. Whatever reason they brought them are the reasons that we want to meet them. Now, if they say no, then what you're going to do next is say, oh, man, that stinks. Part of my new job is to show the jewelry in little practice sessions and get the opinions of my friends and family of the pieces that came in my kit. Would it be okay if I stop by one day next week to show you my kit? I would love for you to see it. Because by the time you close your party and the kit comes, you want to go somewhere with it. So anytime that someone says no, in your head, I always want you to say, they can't come to me, I'll go to them. So you can say, you want to meet up at Starbucks, you want to go to Dunkin' Donuts, you want to have a glass of wine. Would you normally go to happy hour anyway? Your jewelry comes in a pocketbook. in little burrito rollers. You can walk into any bar or restaurant, normal happy hour, and unroll these little jewelry burritos right at the table. You could be standing at those high top, bar tables. You can sit in a booth at the diner. You can meet the girls out for any kind of dinner and be doing these little, what we call personal appointments. Mm-hmm. And at those appointments, you show the jewelry, you explain the sale, same as you would at a show, just in a smaller case. A lot of times they will either order or they will want to book their own party because you'll explain what they get if they do. Or they might say, "You making money with this? How much money did you make so far?" And then you're going to say, "You know what? Can I have my friend give you a call?" So this is going to be your pattern of when you invite people to things, okay? Anybody who you forgot to invite to the first launch, there's no limit to how many shows you can host yourself. So if 3 weeks after your launch, a month after your launch, 2 months after your launch, you're like, "You know what, I really should do another party for everybody who couldn't come," or "I didn't even think to invite this, that, and the one." Go right ahead. Park Lane doesn't say, "Oh no, you got too much free jewelry the first time." Like, they want you to host as many times as you want. So always feel free to host your own shows. So let's talk about then step 3, which is to fill your calendar with the number of parties that you want to do. I would advise 1 to 2 a week in the beginning so you can kind of build some momentum. Get used to the job. If you do a party, especially if it's like your first party on your own, you always go home and you're like, "Okay, I forgot to say this. And next time I want to make sure I say that." But if next time isn't for like 3 weeks, you forgot already. Then you go do the show and you're like, "Oh, I forgot that again. And now I actually even forgot this too." Whereas if your next party was 2 days later and then your next party was the following week, you can get into more of a routine. If you did 2 shows a week at Park Lane, you would earn all of your rich rewards. You would probably earn the vacation that they offer twice a year. Twice a week is considered almost like this is the only job in the world that you can get credit for, like working full time by leaving your house twice a week with the jewelry. It's crazy. So, when you are inviting to your launch, you actually can ask if they would like to host first. If they say yes, put them on your calendar. If they say no, invite them to your launch, so that you're kind of killing the 2 birds with 1 stone, if we're still allowed to say that phrase. I read that. Did you all read that funny article? But anyway, so in that case, you're saying, "Hey, it's Michelle. Oh my gosh, I couldn't wait to call you. I'm so excited. I just started a business as a stylist with Park Lane Jewelry. Have you heard of Park Lane?" So see how it was the same as what I said before. Here's the best part. I'm actually looking for 2 fun people that could help me start my business by just having a couple of friends over to like play with the jewelry and try it on and have a nice fun night out. I just need 1 big gathering and 1 little gathering. Would you be able to have one of those 2? And see what they say. She might say, "All right, well, you know what? I could have the little one." But notice how I didn't say how many it was. Because to some people, a little gathering is 8 people, right? You have those friends that like when they have people over, 20,000 people come. So if they think a small party is 8 people, holla, go right ahead and think that. Because I'm not going to put numbers on what's what. Okay, so when they say yes, because some of them will, then you're going to engage in like this 2-step process. So it's 2 choices, it's 3 steps, I'm sorry, but it's 2 choices at a time. 2 choices, 2 choices, 2 choices. This is just to keep them focused on what they want and not confusing them with other dates. So if she says yes, I'll say, "Oh, great, thank you so much. Would you like during the week or the weekend?" If you're able to offer that. Okay, so let's assume your schedule allows that. Would you like during the week or on the weekend? "Oh, you know what? I think I would like the weekend. It's a little busy during the week. I get home late." Okay, so would you like a day or an evening? So, would you like a brunch and bling or an evening girls night out? So now that's the second two choices, right? So we went from weekday to weekend, day or evening. And then she says, oh, I guess a brunch sounds nice. Okay, great. I have Saturday the 10th and I have Sunday the 17th, which is better. There's her final two choices. The vast majority of the time, they will pick one of those two. Then you write it in your book and off you go. You're ready to give them a hostess packet. You can go over what they're going to get by hosting. And that's the easiest way to get somebody on your calendar. You're going to do the exact same thing when you're sitting with guests at shows and taking their order. That's the exact same system. Two choices, two choices, two choices. If they say during the week, but you know that you work and she works, of course, then it's only two steps because it's, okay, would you prefer a Tuesday or a Thursday? Or would you prefer a Monday or a Friday or whatever? However, if you do this as your only job, you can still ask during the day or night for weekdays, because what about a nurse who works 3 days a week and then she's free by day? Stay-at-home moms, retirees, these are all people that will have daytime weekday parties if you're able to, okay? People only can choose from what you can offer. So when my husband worked nights, which was preposterous because I already worked at night, but we had an 8-month span of life where he worked nights. And the only thing that I could do is I offer daytime shows Monday through Friday. I have Friday nights, and I have 11, 3, and 7 on Saturday. So they could have a weekday party by day, a Friday night, or 11, 3, or 7 on Saturday. That was the only choices. That was actually the busiest I ever was in direct sales when I did that. And it's because the choices were so focused. So people would come up and be like, okay, you said a bunch of Saturday times. What was that? And then I just looked at I said, okay, well, where do you live? And they would say, I live in Suffolk County, let's say. Okay, so I would look and see when else was I in her general area and try to get her to take the adjacent time. So if I had a 3 o'clock show already in Shirley and she lives in Ridge, I'm trying to put her in at 7 or 11 the same day. So for those of you that want to do 2 shows in a day and have your whole work week complete, please know that you can do that. Shows are only a couple of hours. You can do 2 in a day. You can even do 3 in a day if you play your cards right. Okay? So if she says, no, I can't have your little or your large, the small or the big one, then you can say, oh, all right, no problem, but I would love to have you here at my launch party. It's this Saturday night at 7. Can you come? If she says yes, I'm going to text you the invite. Please bring a friend. If she says no, we're going to her, right? Would it be okay if I stop by one day next week? I'm going to have my kit. I would love to get your opinions on the jewelry that came in my kit. Usually they'll say yes to that because otherwise that's like 4 no's in a row. But be aware, there are going to be people that say no to everything you suggest. And I just want you to know that what they're not saying is, no, Paula, you're so annoying. I don't want you to call me ever again and go burn my phone number because I can't believe you asked me that. Now, it sometimes can feel that way because you're like, oh my gosh, that's my sister. And she couldn't say yes, but you know what? That's not what they mean. They just mean they can't right now. That's all. It could be that they mean they can't have one in January, but they can in February. Or they can't have one this week, but they can have one next week. And they might not have one ever. But that's okay, because for every person that doesn't want your services, which is what they're saying no to, they're saying no to your service at this time. And if you can keep it to that, just like, when you're paying at Target and she's like, would you like to open a Target card and save 15% on today's order? And you're like, no, thanks. The girl doesn't go home and say like, oh my God, you didn't even want the credit card. I'm like terrible at my job. None of that happens. And that's not what we meant when we said it, right? We're just like, no, I don't need that credit card. I don't need that service. So keep that in your mind when people say no to you. Because my mom said to me when I told her I was starting a direct sales business, she goes, don't ask me to have one of those parties. Now, did I say, oh my God, cancel my kit? This was a terrible idea. No, my mom was not interested in that service and has continued to not be interested in that service for 19 years. But that's okay because it's just not her thing, and that's fine. It's been my thing and my family's thing, and for hundreds of people under me all these years. So it's totally okay. So don't take it personally. Collect those orders, book those shows right from the start. You don't ever have to wait for anything. Oh, I'll wait to do this order until my show comes. No, take the order. We'll get it processed. Let's get more jewelry on more people. So I'm just going to show you one more thing on the screen that I think you'll find helpful. So going back to the field interface where we open this, oh no, that's actually not what I wanted to show you. There are lots of things on the field interface that are helpful. However, we have, as a team, a really helpful training document for all of the team members. And when you're super new like this, you'll find it extra helpful. So far, everybody that I see on the screen is in our organization. So I'll show it on ours, but anybody watching the playback, you're gonna have this same thing in yours. Anything that's important or we need to refer back to, I keep at the top of the page under announcements. So some upcoming trainings we have are here. We do a weekly award for everybody that put sales in that week. So right here is what we call the Sparkle resource, okay? Sparkle stands for Succeed, Participate, Act, Reward, Kickstart, Learn, and Empower. And what this allows you to do is take control of your own learning your business. So when you're ready to have a more extensive how to get started with more information, watch this initial training class by Mary Grace, who's the leader above me. She goes into more detail than we do here tonight. When you're picking your kit, this is some advice on what to pick and how to make sure that you pick a nice assortment of things. So this will help. Getting bookings at your shows. See how there's all of these different topics? Even just the instructionals, okay? How to open a show and enter the orders. How to do the hostess order. All of that's on here because everybody here is a busy professional woman. And we don't want your training to have to take place at a certain time if you always have school on Tuesday nights or you always have whatever. You commute on the train, bring your earbuds to do a training. You can just do this at any time. Every show is in reruns right now. So it's a great time of year to start your business, to educate yourself. And any time that you watch any of these things, by all means, let your recruiter and your leader know so that we can talk about it and give you some additional tips or suggestions on each one of those topics. So there's just lots of fun stuff here. You'll make your way through it eventually. What I would tell you is that this is a business that, and this sounds funny when it's said out loud, but you learn it when you need to learn it. So meaning that at some point you're going to have a hostess that says, ooh, I want to join. Now you're going to need to know, what button do I click to make this party be her party? You don't need that information today. You'll learn it when you need to learn it, which is when you have a hostess that says, Kafiri, I want to join. I want to join the team. Then you're going to call up Tammy, right? Is she under you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and say, what do I do? And she's going to help you with that. Or we're going to show you what video helps you with that. So I do thank you so much for being on tonight's call. I'm going to stop the recording.